So, when you were my age, what was like the new big thing that just came out on like in stores? Was the
You know what? At that time, there wasn't a lot of things that you have like now that were new, that nobody had. If you had a bike, I never rode a bike in my whole life. We never had one. My brothers had one after they grew up. But my oldest brother was, he was 6 years younger than I am. And then I had 3 more after that.
No.
And they were all younger. So we didn't have bikes. The boys did later. We had a wagon. The family had a little red wagon.
was there like something popular at school that everybody was talking about? Or?
Yeah, we were in school that was Christian.
That number again?
Right.
Something to think about.
What that number again?
The iPad's probably gonna go out of date.
It was,
my finger.
when I was
Where's my hand?
20, I had money, but before that, when I graduated at 18, we never had a car.
I find it.
So I walked to school.
I
And
find
that was from
it.
34th and Wall on the corner across from the ballpark. It used to be Affleck Park down there. And I walked there up here to 25th, where is Central. That was high school. And winter, I walked to school and home in the middle of winter with no boots. How would you like that?
Well, for me, walking to school is kind of across the valley. So.
It was hard, but I wasn't going to not graduate.
Yeah.
My older sister didn't. My younger sister couldn't. So I was the first one in the family to graduate from high school.
What that number again?
So what was school like?
What that number again?
Well,
Hard?
No,
it was hard, but
no.
I had one teacher that wrote it for me. I wrote a story, and she didn't think I could. She came in front of the whole class and said, "Is this original?" And I said, "Yes." I wrote that myself, and she slammed that down on my desk and said, "You get no grade."
Huh.
And it ruined it for me. I never wanted to write anything again. But she was just an old maid, and she didn't like kids.
Yeah. How many classes did you have?
Well, we had, back then you had cooking or sewing or both, if you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, you had gym, and arithmetic, math, algebra, geometry, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Beep, beep, beep.
English, of course, you always had, and she was my English teacher.
Right.
So that means you had it like the entire year?
The whole year. But I was real shy, and that was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me. You just don't get over it.
Right.
Beep, beep, beep.
Was there like a really teacher that you loved?
Oh, the art teacher, I thought he was the thing.
Mama. Oh, mommy.
He was nice. And I think some of my other teachers were really nice too. But
My mom, my mom.
they were really
My
teachers
camera.
then.
Come here, let's go play this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't remember all their names.
So how long did you spend on homework each night?
Till I got it done. That's all I tell you. We rented a typewriter so I could learn to type.
You had to rent it? Wow.
And of course I took shorthand too.
They don't teach that now.
I know. Don't have to. You've got computers and all this crap.
On iPhones, you can just record what everyone says and it puts it on in type form. I don't have one.
Yeah, I had a typewriter that I had to use to practice. Everybody took shorthand then. If you wanted to go for a job, you had to know.
Okay. So the question I wrote, what did you do for a living? You said the canning factory.
I started out, I babysat for a long time, different families. And the mother was working and I took care of the kids, cleaned the house, did the cooking. She'd leave me a recipe she wanted me to make and I got 25 cents a day,
Yeah.
if you can imagine.
Wow.
Of course, back then you could get a loaf of bread for a dime
Right.
and a quart of milk for a dime.
Always thought it'd be cool. I think I said it last time, but make a time machine.
Huh?
Make a time machine. Go back in time, buy everything, like a bunch of some item. Then you come back to the future and you have like a ton of that item. You just sell it because like you're like the best provider. Make a lot of money.
Yeah. So after you babysat, what did you do? Then you worked at the cannery, right?
Yeah. Worked at the cannery well, I used to work in the field with my mother too.
Mm.
In the summertime when you weren't going to school. You went out and you picked cucumbers, I picked cherries. A truck would come along and us kids would all be standing out and waiting. Get in the back of the truck and they'd take us out to North Ogden and we'd get up in the trees and pick cherries or whatever, apricots, whatever needed to be picked. And then we went, when they were doing the cucumbers, we went along and picked cucumbers. If they were doing onions, the machine took the onions and some of them were left and we had to go along and pick them up and box them, so they could sell them. I did a lot of stuff, different things. But I also, when I worked in the canning factory, I worked in tomatoes and we used, would have to cut the apricots in half and cut off anything that wasn't good so they could can it. Tomatoes, you had to peel them, and I did that for a long time. Where I met my husband was a place called Pierce's.
Mm-hmm.
They sold all kinds of stuff, and I was they'd make the ketchup upstairs, and it would come down, put in bottles, and then the bottles had to be put in a big wire thing that was put down in the water to cook it, at boiling temperature.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me the job. First they gave me a pair of big gloves. I was supposed to pick those up and put them in, and they'd stick. So I took the gloves off, and picked those up and put, and I never burned my hands.
Huh.
But that was my job.
Yeah.
And then I worked in the string beans, and had to put them. They sold them whole. Those were delicious big string beans. They weren't cut up.
Yeah.
These were special. So we'd have to jam them in a can, and a lot of us around the table would be jamming beans, and they'd keep saying, "Go slower! We can't keep you up with you." That and my husband was working there as a truck driver,
Uh-huh.
and his father was a field man. He went around for the farmers and contracted for whatever they were growing.
Yeah. Then after you started having kids, you didn't work anymore, right?
Huh?
Once you started having kids, you didn't work anymore.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, that was before I was married.
Yeah.
No, my husband wouldn't let me. He said, if you can make as much money as I do, you can go to work, but if somebody's gonna stay at home with the kids.
Yeah.
And so, well, I did. Until Karen was, 13, maybe a little older. Then I went to work at the Haynes House.
Mhm.
Then I worked for Dr. Thompson. She put my collar in, I forgot to take it out.
Bridget.
No, yeah. I was just realizing it wasn't out. Okay, what else do you need to know?
So what was your dream career? Like what you always wanted to do?
I just wanted to be a mom. I couldn't work, so I wanted to be a mom.
And you accomplished that.
Yeah, 5 times. But I knew how because I'd taken care of kids at home. We always had our job. On wash day, I had to stay out of school and wash clothes. Mom would put them in the bathtub with a washboard, and the boys wore long underwear then, and they would get their knees dirty, and I'd have to scrub them till they were clean. And then she would put them in a big boiler on top of the stove with lye and hot water in, and boil them we didn't have Clorox.
Right.
And she wanted the whitest clothes in the neighborhood, so I had to scrub and scrub. And I made bread. I did all kinds of stuff at home. So, you thought that was your goal, was to be a mom and do the work.
What was your dream home? Like mansion?
Never even dreamed.
Cabin in the woods?
Huh?
Cabin in the woods?
No. You wanted a nice